Good evening everybody, and welcome back to the channel. Thanks for joining us once again, and I would just like to firstly say thank you very much to for the positive feedback on the last video. Thanks to everybody for viewing the last video, and welcome to all the new subscribers, and thanks for subscribing. Like I said, yeah, overwhelmed by the response to the last video, the positive feedback, the comments, etc., and all the likes. So yeah, thanks again for all of that. So getting into today's video, today's video, this is my turbo Centura, which is featured on the channel a couple of times. For those of you who are new to the channel, this is my 265 turbo. It runs a 3576 Garrett turbo. It runs on straight gas. That will be being changed. In fact, there's going to be some massive changes to this car, but for now, what I'm going to do is I'll basically explain the issues that I've had with this car right from the start. Well, right from the start, it's had a boost leak. It would spike to around about 7 psi, and then it would drop off to roughly 5 psi. I never really did anything about it. Now, mind you, I never really did anything about it for probably 8 years, and it just got the better of me because I did want to make a bit more power than what it was making. So I went to and made, believe it or not, a boost tester. Believe it or not, this is a boost leak down tester. I'll get into a little bit more of that when I get into the video a little bit more. So what I did is I hooked that up to the car, pressurized the system, etc., and I was actually shocked at how many boost leaks I had. Once again, you know, the car went really quite well. I hadn't had it to the track, but I would like to take it to the track. That may be happening soon. So basically speaking, what was happening is I had leaks just about everywhere, all through the system. I've put the intercooler back in here for now, once again, because like I said, I'd like to take it to the track. But basically this was the main culprit. This is a nitrous burst panel. It was actually doing what it's designed to do. These are designed to go onto a manifold, so when it backfires, what it does is it relieves the pressure and hopefully stops things coming back through the carburetor. So they weld these to the manifolds, etc., and they're a burst panel, so they're basically a reusable one. Some people use them on turbo setups. Once again, it's just doing what it's designed to do. You know, we're pressurizing all of this, so basically this was just bursting away. So as soon as I would hit around spike about 7 pound of boost, this would literally open and vent. So it was working like a separate wastegate to the car. So I wasn't getting boost pressure to the engine. So once again, like I said, I've tightened these up. Now I've got the boost tester out again because I would like to relieve this a little bit more, so if we do have a backfire, that it does actually vent the plenum. This plenum, believe it or not, I don't know if the camera will pick it up, but that's actually rounded. When this plenum was new, this was flat. So this has had a fair few backfires due to the gas, in my opinion. And when it has burped, you know, I have seen these, and I'm not going to say from who, but actually have catastrophic failures and blow to pieces. Once again, you've got to realize we're charging this full of gas as well from the throttle body. It hasn't got individual injectors. We're only using gas vapor. Once again, this was something that was, back when I built the car, very common with some of the guys in Melbourne. some very quick VLs were running basically the same sort of setup as what this was, and there was an extremely quick Mustang as well that was running a similar sort of setup. So once again, this is actually a testimony to Rob Forsyth at RMF. He built this plenum, and I swear if any other plenum had been through what this has been through, it would have been in pieces by now. Please excuse me, one of my torches is going flat. So yeah, so once again, and we're also filling it full of methanol as well. So once again, what I'm going to do is do a boost leak test. I'm going to pressurize the system at around about 15 psi. I've got a 10-pound spring in the wastegate at the moment. That seems to be working really well, making some very good power. It's turning the tyres in top gear at around about 80 k's an hour. We've got some Kumos on the back there. They're not a bad tyre, to be quite honest, but it's actually turning them at around about 80 k's an hour in top gear, just coming on boost. So it's getting a little bit scary. So hence the reason that I have actually also purchased a set of Pro Street Radials, some 235s. So I'm going to put them on the car, and once again, like I said, I'm hoping to get it up to the bend and just give it a bit of a blast, and I think it may gear out because it's got a 323 gear in the rear, so it might not actually RPMs, because we don't actually rev this engine very high. The most it sees is about 5,500 RPM, which is not very much. But that just helps the longevity of everything, and that's the whole idea of the boost, is not to rev the absolute living shit out of it and compromise the life of the engine. So yeah, once again, it makes plenty of power. So yeah, I'll set up the leak down rig and get you back, and we'll have a little bit of a look see at that. Okay, so I've set up the little boost pressure plate, boost for the to boost pressure the system, pressurize the system. So that's just the little cap, PVC cap, and the tire fitting with the boot reducer, which is 3" to 4" naturally. I have actually just powered up the system or boost, put some pressure in the system, and I've found some massive leaks. This is why you do this, so you can get the most out of everything you're running. So what I'll do is I'll just and stay tuned too, because I'll be fitting the Pro Street tires to this car too, and taking it for a bit of a drive too, once I get them fitted up with the help of my wife. All right, so what I'll do is I'll quickly just let's just explain what we're doing here. So I've got the once again the PVC fitting with the tire fitting, the reducer running up here just to the tire pressure pump, to tire pump, and naturally to the compressor. I'm running about 30 psi through the system. So what I'll do is I'll just pressurize it up and show you what's going on. Please bear with me just for a second while I get this pressured up. Okay, as you can hear the air moving through the system. I have found, so then we've got some soapy water. Now this is nothing new. I got this idea off of YouTube, just googling. So this is not my idea. This is just something that people do. So please don't think that I've thought of this idea. So just spraying some soapy water on there, and you can see straight away that there's some bubbles when you hit it in the right spot. Probably seen that, a few of them there. So that's just one small leak there, and you can probably hear it more here. I don't know whether that may be coming out of the the methanol fitting, and you can also, there's a lot of air moving around here, let me just say that. And also with the nitrous burst panel, so hit it with a bit of that. I've got some stuff on the camera, just bear with me just for a minute, I'll be back in a second. Alrighty, so yeah, so once again, just on the burst panel as well, as you can hear, so these are spring loaded, so you can tighten this up and down to put pressure onto the plate to hold it a bit more, but basically this is what it does. As you can hear, it just just wait for the compressor to finish. Okay, so this is where we've had the leak problems in the past. As you can hear, it just pressuring down the system. So once again, you can adjust these to adjust the spring pressure, etc. So I want to actually, just so that if it does have a backfire, just so that this still does actually work, because it's quite tough at the moment. In fact, you know what, I might even just leave it, to be quite honest, and fix what's going on up here. Have a look at that anyway. All right, so that's just the basic, like I said, of the boost leak tester. And once again, it really does help to find the leaks that you think are, you know, pretty all right. So what I can do now is just leave the air running through the system and address the issues that we've got. All right, so I'll have a quick look at the at what's going on there and come back. And like I said, stay tuned to a bit later in the video, because I will be taking this out for a bit of a drive and try out those new Pro Street Radials I've got for the car. Alrighty, we'll be back soon. So yes, as you can see, it got the better of me, and I did remove this nitrous burst panel. Whoops, as you can see, that's just the back of it. So that bolts to the manifold, and then, like I said, the pressure, it's a bit hard to do it, but pushes those springs. As you can see, there's a little bit more, I don't know if you can pick that up, a bit more spring there now. So hopefully the boost pressure, as it was doing when I first got the car going, it was just, like I was saying, pushing and opening this burst panel. So yeah, it just relieved at one turn, so if we do have a backfire, that it does open a bit easier and not blow hoses off, etc., to boost references, etc., for the methanol, and also what else have we got on there? Methanol, and the blow-off valve, and a couple other bits and pieces. Alrighty, so we'll get that back on the car and maybe get some tyres on there and go for a spin. Okay, so this is what I was referring to with the boost leak. I don't know if you can see that. Oh, there's a big bubble there now. That's just backing it off like about a turn. I'll get some more soapy water on there, and like you can see it just bubbling down the bottom there. So that's just leaking boost the whole time from the plenum. So I'll take that off again and tighten it back up. But as you can hear, we've fixed the boost leak around here. Basically that was just a clamp, so that was a lucky one, and it will leak a little bit of air out of the throttle shaft. It's got to, because otherwise it will just bind up. But yeah, you can see it bubbling away quite freely down there, which indicates a boost leak again. So push that off and it stops, and then yeah, it comes back again. So we'll address that. Okay, so I've put it back to basically about where it was, and as you can see, when we hit it with a bit of soapy water, it sure looks quite good. So yeah, that's the boost leak test. Like I said, I've honestly, I didn't think I'd had any leaks up here or anything like that, or down here. So there was basically one small leak here, a small leak here, massive leak here, and naturally we've just got at the back of the butterfly and the throttle shaft, but that's just part and parcel, unfortunately. So yeah, so now I think what I'll do is shut that off. I think what I'll do next is get some tyres on it and take it for a bit of a drive. Alrighty, let's get some tyres on. So we've got our 235 60/15 Pro Street Radials here. Actually pretty keen to give these a go. No doubt they'll be a lot better than the Hankooks that I've got on there, etc. They're quite old and so forth, and really don't offer much grip with what I'm doing with the car, etc. So yeah, once again pretty keen on getting these onto the car. I have had 235 60/15s on those rims with Mickey Thompson's on there on the car before, so hopefully theoretically everything will clear. So without any more delays, let's get these new tyres on the car and take it out for a bit of a blast. Like I said, I'm pretty keen to give it a go. All right, that's enough waffling. Let's get into it. Okay, so fast forward a couple of days and we've got some nice new Pro Street Radials on the car. Pretty happy with how they've come out. They've as the rim sits inboard a little bit further, bit different offset to what was on there. So as you can see, it sits in a lot more, so it just looks that much better, a bit more in track as such and so forth. But yeah, happy with how that's come out. So I don't know if it will pick it up that well, but yeah, compared to the others, the others sort of looked a little bit ridiculous in my opinion. But yeah, so they sit a lot better now. So hopefully that'll stop the problem we were having with braking traction in top gear when you bring it on boost. So as we all know, spinning ain't winning. It's fun, but it ain't winning. So yeah, I like to feel the G-force of the car when it's accelerating instead of it all going up in smoke and ram and all that sort of bullshit. So yeah, like I said, spinning ain't winning. So yeah, I reckon what I'll do now is go out and go for a bit of a drive in the car, see what the tyres are like. Yeah, see what the tyres are like, and yeah, answer a few questions that I often get asked about the car. So yeah, we'll go for a bit of a drive and have a bit of a I'll explain a little bit more about the car, etc. Alrighty, out for a bit of a drive with the new Pro Street Radials on, and after doing the boost leak check, so I get asked a lot of questions about this car. The main one I get asked is, what have I done to the engine? Well, we'll get to that in a little bit. Anyway, the diff in this car is a 31 spline combo, something else I get asked a lot of. It's a 31 spline with an Eaton Harrop through track, only the best of course, and we're running 323 gears at the moment. I may even change them when we go down the quarter, because I think it might actually gear out over the quarter. We'll just wait and see. If not, I'll just run it to the 8th and go from there. Transmission is out of my old race car, my old black car that I used to have. Out of my old black car. It's a 904 full manual reverse pattern, valve body in it, non-engine brake, trans brake. I still use engine or foot brake, sorry. The converter that's in it is probably up around about well over 3 grand. Depends on the horsepower of the engine, etc., and torque. And that's pretty much the drive line. The engine, alright, the engine, absolutely no secrets there. Stock standard. The thing is bone stock standard. No head porting, no big valves, standard 265 I think they are. To be quite honest, I can't even remember. absolutely nothing special. It's got some hypertechnic pistons, a double roll road timing chain, what else? Oh, and a boost reference cam. And I think we've got springs and retainers in the top end. It's that long ago that I built it. Oh, I just can't remember. Anyhow, long story short, this engine went to a reputable engine builder twice. Long story short, they fucked it up. They put one of the main bearings in upside down. So number 5 rod, I think it was, wasn't getting any oil. Picked up the rod bearings twice. They didn't pull the crank out like I asked them to. Naturally, when something like that happens, you find out why it happens. They didn't. So I said to them, look, when it happens again, not if, but when it happens again, I'll be back for my money back. That's exactly what happened. I got a few Ks into it and it chucked the rod bearing again. So my boss at the time and the mechanic next door, Mixo, Rob Pate, old Mixie, said to me, come on Milk, let's just build it ourselves. And I said, yeah, well, why not? With your two knowledge, I don't think we'll have any issues. So that's exactly what we did. So I took all of the, after getting some of my money back, not all of it, some of it, after getting some of it back, I basically took it to Ross and Fury at Lonsdale Engine Works. Absolutely, I can't recommend anybody better down south at Lonsdale. And they heard about the story. They told me a few other things that happened at that shop that I didn't get told about, like my block coming loose in the mill and them decking probably 60 to 80 thou off the deck of the block.
And it was a virgin block.
And it was a virgin block, thank you for pointing that out, Chantel. And it was also a torque flight block. Now, as we all know, with boost you don't run high compression. I was wondering why the thing, when I had it running on the first 2 engine blow-ups, that it was pinging and not running right. Anyway, so what I did then is what did we do then? Yes, took it to Ross and Fury. They heard about it. I said to them, well, I might as well just throw the block in the bin. Fury, in his infinite wisdom, said to me, Darren, don't panic. We've got to resize the gudgeon pins in your rods. What we'll do is we'll offset grind them to pull them down in the deck, off the deck a bit further, down off the deck. So that's exactly what we did, and they were able to rescue the block, etc. I am also running a solid copper head gasket on this, which does actually raise the compression a little bit too. So that's probably another bit of a lifesaver. But yeah, so that's what happened. So apart from that, the engine is just bolt-ons. I don't even have roller rockers in here. I just wanted to keep it simple, because if you've got to take the intake pipe off all the time, and that starts to get a bit of a pain in the ass. So that's what I do. I just kept it, I use the old KISS method, keep it simple, stupid. That's exactly what we did. So with the help of Mixo and my old boss, we pieced it together, and touch wood, she's still running today. I've given this, I'll just pull over and let this car pass me, be a bit courteous as we're going through Old Noarlunga. So I just, like I was saying, we just pieced it all back together, and once again we didn't do anything special apart from ring gaps and a couple other little bits and pieces for boost references and so forth, but apart from that we realistically did nothing. So yeah, the engine is just bone stock standard with bolt-ons. It runs straight gas. We have methanol injection on it. I'll confess that I probably run a lot more methanol than water. I probably run about 80% methanol to water, sometimes even a little bit more. It depends on how cheeky I want to be, but that tends to work really well with the AFRs, etc. when you're on boost and so forth. It's a good band-aid. And also when I wasn't running the intercooler on the street, etc., it works really well at low Ks, etc., coming on boost and so forth. And it also helps to cool the engine too. So yeah, apart from that, it's just bolt-ons. Garrett GT 3576R that I had made up from down at Adelaide Turbo Works, and yeah, apart from that, that's about it. Oh, the plenum was made and modified and made by Robert RMF, and the intake plenum was originally on this car when we had an old setup on it that is basically in leftovers now. So yeah, that's pretty much it really. And as you can see, it just drives around, and you know, it just putts around, no big lumpy cam and blah 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 blah, and undrivable, etc. And it just behaves really well, albeit with the intercooler, it's like running a big piece of perforated cardboard in front of the radiator, so it doesn't really appreciate that too much. But apart from that, you know, she boosts up really easily. You know, she boosts up really well, to be quite honest. So I have to just keep an eye on what boost are we running there, Shane, because I haven't checked that. I've done a boost leak check, and I don't know whether it's bleeding any boost off, so we'll just have to have a bit of a look see at that one too. But yeah, she just motors along really nicely. It's actually quite a pleasurable car to drive, and yeah, sometimes I have second thoughts about what I'm planning on doing, to be honest. But anyway. Oh, okay, so that was seeing about 12. Yeah, righto. So yeah, clearly she did have a bit more of a boost leak last time when I drove it. Okay, that's cool. We'll just hopefully don't put the rods out the side of the block or down out of the sump, because Centura sump, after all, I've only got one more of them. Okay. Once again, reverse pattern, full manual, so you'll see me looking down a bit every now and then just to see what gear I'm in. But I wouldn't have it any other way, to be honest. I love these trans valve bodies. It's a cheated turbo action. I run them in all of my cars. I think they're great. The E55, my silver Centura, that's got the same with a trans brake. So yeah. Right there, Shan, your hand's flexing a little bit. Scratching your nose, not picking that, are you?
No.
Oh. So it is only like on 60 k's through here and 70 up here, but I'll give it a bit of a boost along the road that it was turning the tyres before along. There's our friend the lawman. Yep, it's alright, he just keeps driving. That's another thing too, you know, you don't really, apart from the wheels, you don't really create any attention in this car. It's good, like I'm saying, it really does resemble a stock standard car. So with the old Kumos along here, used to turn the tyres at this speed that we're travelling now, which would probably be around about 60-70 k's an hour. So I'll just give it a little squirt here. That's well, at least it didn't turn the tyres then, so that's a good thing. Like I was saying, she was turning the tyres through there last time. I'll give it a little bit of a boot along here. Now this is only just giving it, just bringing it on boost, so about not even a half throttle, you know. It's good. That's seeing probably about 12 pound boost. It's probably about 2 or 3 pound more than I actually want to see. I was only hoping for around about 10. It's got a 10 pound spring in there, but that's getting up there. But happy to say those tyres are just, yeah, that would have broken traction before. So nah, pretty stoked with that. So yeah, that's our little joyride, I think. Once again, she's up about 190 now, so it's actually behaving itself, but I haven't really stopped much. But it does heat up this car. It's the only disadvantage of it. It's got a new radiator, good thermos and all the rest of the shit, but still heats up the bloody thing. Never mind. Once again, like I said, it does generally behave itself. So alrighty, well, let's get back to the shop and finish off the video. So verdict, yes, very happy with that. Once again, with those short pulls that I was doing, that it wasn't even really getting off the converter. When it was coming up on boost, that's when it was starting to turn the tyres before, with these ones on there. So yeah, for the small amount of power that I have, these are really doing the job. So, but we'll soon find out. Like I said, I wasn't even really getting off the converter with those short pulls that I was doing. So yeah, once again, it's got a fair bit more left in it, but we won't know what it's going to be really like until, you know, get it out the track. But pretty much almost there with everything that we need to go out to the track. So there's no real excuse apart from time and or however my back is, as far as getting everything on the trailer, etc. I rely a lot on my wife for help, etc. When we do just about anything these days due to my back injury. So that's just how it is. Anyway, I'm not going to cry about that. Yeah, so I think that'll pretty much do it for this video. Thanks again for all the new subscribers. Thanks again, like I said, for the last video, for all the views and so forth. So yeah, like I said, I reckon that'll sort of do us for this video. And yeah, if you haven't already, please subscribe. And once again, thanks for joining us, and we'll see you next time.